Yeah, you ain't getting away around this motherfucker, because people be talking about, oh man, he's in a better place, like hell is empty. Yeah. And you're gonna get to heaven, you're gonna get up there and see a lot of people that didn't get in, like your friend's grandmother, Miss Turner. Miss Turner, what'd you, oh, that baby, I don't know what happened. And I looked at Jesus, he seen me and kept going in there. You seen the Bible ministry that I do. Mental health is real, I'm telling you, man. Mental health is fucking real. And if you know anybody have mental health problems, man, be really, really patient with them. You know, because it's really real, you know? And they need people that love them, you know? And like, I had a friend call me the other day, he was sad and shit. I said, what's wrong with me? He said, I don't want to do it no more. I said, hey, man, we don't do that. You know what I mean? We got faith in God. We're going to stay strong. We're going to give ourselves another day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, we don't give up that song. We only get one life. We ain't giving up in this life. It's just time to go, right? I said, yeah, man, I was talking to him. That's because I know what he was going through. So I put some money in. I sent him some money and shit. And I called him the next day. I said, how you doing? He said, a lot better. 2 weeks later, his wife called. Oh, man, Ray don't want to do it no more. I said, oh, God. I said, hey, let him do it this time. I'm tired. I'm tired. He's tired. You're tired. The earth ain't a place for him. Let him go on. Everybody don't do well here. I'm tired of it. And I don't have no more savior money to save no more lives. I thought I was having a heart attack the other day. I'm laying on the ground, paramedics and shit. That's real shit. I'm laying on the ground. Something told me, look up. I seen the police. I said, wait a minute. No. I didn't call y'all. Get y'all's ass out of here. Don't start that shit right there. Because while I'm on the ground, they in the house searching for shit. Them niggas in the back. They find something. We're going to get it after this. We got you. Look what we got right here. When they done with you, we look what we got. So go on, let them. Now, I might, be shining up here and, trying to look like something, but I ain't always, had a little gloss to me. I started off dusty, Yeah, I started off real dusty. That's why they talking about cutting them food stamps off. I done already been there. I done had mine cut off a long time ago. I've been on food stamps, then got cut off and all that shit. I grew up with a social worker coming to our house. Some white lady coming there, your mother, y'all go play. You stay to listen to your mother be cussing out. Bitch, I don't have to tell you nothing about my personal life. Back in the day, if you was on food stamps, you couldn't have a man at your house. So your uncle be over there and the social workers show up. Get out of here, Tony. You see your uncle right out. They're like, we seen a man in your house. We're gonna cut your food stamps. It's crazy as a motherfucker, man. I started off working jobs. I had a lot of jobs, I worked at Hardee's. You ever heard of that? That's some Midwest shit, yeah. I worked at Hardee's. Every job I worked at, I sold drugs on it. So I was the weed man on all my jobs. And the boss would wonder why I had more than the rest of the employees. When you sell drugs on a job, you can give out credit till Friday. Then I graduated. Because that's how I was doing. I was working at 7-Eleven. I was bagging groceries and shit. And my friends that started selling crack was coming in the store buying baggies. You know the little sandwich baggies? They was coming in there buying baggies. They had jewelry on. They was laughing at me. They was like, Mother, you still sacking crap? I'm like, what y'all doing? See, I had no business selling drugs because I was a Jehovah's Witness. How do you go door to door, to car to car? Yeah, I didn't have no business. My mother didn't know I was selling crack. I was so excited to sell crack, and I didn't know what I was doing Because I was watching the videos and shit. I was listening to NWA, and I was like, oh, I'm getting in this shit. And my big brother John, he just kept saying, yeah, I got a black suit for you. I'm like, for what? He's like, nigga, you gonna get fucked up. But don't forget, I was a Jehovah's Witness, so I was a nice drug dealer. That's why the drug addicts like me. You know, I was real nice. I felt sorry for the people that were selling dope. Before I give it to them, I said, you really need to change your life. And then I'll sell it to them. Give me the money anyway. Somebody else is gonna get the money. And one time I sold into an informant. It was a club called M&J's. It was like a nightclub. I had just copped. I had just got my, you know how when you first cop, I just spent my money on my dope. I bagged it up, and I'm sitting over in the car at the park, and I sold some dope. The dude, something told me don't sell this shit to this motherfucker, because he was moving too fast. He's like, come on, I gotta get up out of here. And I sold it to him, man. As soon as I sold it to him, and I got out the car, the motherfucker narcos rolled up on me. Took me to jail for dealing in possession of cocaine over 7 grams. And if you Google Mike Epps mug shots on your phone right now, you will see where I caught that case, 1990. Look at the picture. Yeah, look at the picture. I'm gonna give you a second. Oh, you ain't got no phone? Imagine me in 1990. When you get home, Google that shit. Yeah, I'm sitting there, man, motherfucker got, and I kept trying to tell the drug officer, I'm like, man, I'm a user. He said, no, you ain't no user. I said, yes, I am. I use drugs. He said, no, that was too much for a user. You were selling it. So the guy who set me up was a drug addict too. They couldn't find him. They was trying to make him come to court to testify on me, but they couldn't find him. So I went from 20 years to 8 years. They suspended 5, and I did 2 years in a Marion County jail in my hometown. 2 years in a Marion County jail. And I'm sitting up in the motherfucking jail, man, and I don't look that much different than I do now. And I ain't had no hair on my face, had curly hair. I'm sitting in there with some real goons. And when that story about don't drop the soap and the predators, that shit's real. I'm sitting up in the jail, and a dude just walked up to, I don't know where the fuck, I'm telling you, this motherfucker looked like a swollen snake. He was big. He just walked up on me and said, I'm gonna hit you in your motherfucking throat. I said, what the fuck, what? Nigga, I ain't even did nothing. I don't even know you. I guess he wanted to fuck, he was trying to fuck me. That's how they do it. They bully you, and then if you let them bully you, they bully you. So I guess he thought he was trying to set me up for that. I said, oh, I got to figure something. I kept saying to myself, I'm gonna bite this nigga if nothing else. A bite is a bad motherfucker, yeah. Somebody get you on the ground, bite them. They getting up. I'm biting the shit out you, nigga. Big Mac style, wherever you got me on the ground, I'm biting the fuck out of you. Nigga didn't know I was finna use my mouth on that nigga for real. And I'm sitting up in the jail, I'm like, damn, boy, I'm nervous as hell. And I seen a dude, man, named Louis. He was big as fuck. He looked crazier than the other dude. And he said, Mike, I said, Louis? And he was a drug addict. This dude, Louis, on the street, he was a drug addict. On the street, he was real shriveled up. He was dirty. But in jail, when he get his rest and he's eating and working out, he looked like a monster. And I said, Louis, he said, Mike, what you doing here? I said, man, I was trying to sell some dope. He said, man, you know you ain't the type of person supposed to be in here. He said, man, how's your sister Julie? Because he knew my sister. He said, how's Julie doing? I said, man, she's doing good. He said, man, you have any problems? I said, I got one right now. I said, God is good, nigga, and I got favor. You hear me? I got favor. He said, who? I said, he's standing over here right now. He said, point him out. I said, no. I said, he's looking at us. Because I didn't know if I pointed at him. I said, I ain't pointing at him. He's over there. Man, he went over there and whispered in the dude's ear. And when he backed up, he came back to me. He said, yeah, Mike, check this out, man. The dude right there, he's a bully, but he's a bitch. He ain't supposed to look at you, talk to you, walk past you. I said, oh, thank you. So the whole time I was in jail, this how the dude was walking past me like this. I said, oh, Lord, what the fuck did he say to him? Thank you. So, you know, I got out of jail, I started sleeping on my sister's couch. I ain't had nowhere to stay. You know, I just had a new baby, which is my daughter, Bria. My oldest daughter. You know, if I could do anything in the world, man, if I could explain to my daughter that I was a kid when I had you, I wasn't gonna be a good dad. You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes years for you to become a good dad. You know, it's called babies having babies. And when your baby is mad at you because she don't realize you was a baby when you had her. So it takes time to grow. So I had my daughter, I'm sleeping on my sister's couch. I ain't got no education, I ain't got no job, selling motherfucking drugs. I ain't got no money. I owe a couple drug dealers money in the city. I'm laying on the couch, and I'll never forget my baby mama. She had an auntie named Janet, real sweet. Used to come to Indiana from Atlanta. She said, Mike, here you having a hard time in Indianapolis. If you ever need to get out of Indianapolis and move to Atlanta and change your life, you can come and stay with me. So I said, okay, I'm gonna hold you to that, Janet. Meanwhile, they got a comedy competition on the radio. Come to next week's comedy competition here at Club Seville's. And I got two buddies, a buddy named Otis Brown, Gary Bates. They betted me. They said, Mike, you funny around here. You funny in jail, you all that shit. But I bet you can't go up there and be funny in front of people. I said, bet. We go to Club Seville's. They bet me $500. When we walk in the club, it's a bar and grill. Ain't nothing but street motherfuckers in there. I'm talking about there's smoke everywhere. I'm standing in the back getting drunk. I said, oh, I'm scared of them. I'm tearing their ass up. I'm in the back getting drunk. They booing everybody off the stage. I get up on the stage, I make everybody laugh. Boom, everybody laughing.